external members from other departments direct in their individual bank accounts. You can look at that in Appendix 6. Remedial measure: management will ensure allowances are paid directly into individual accounts. We move to cross-cutting issues, Chair. First one is on the budget, funding and expenditure. Because of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the returned funds were withheld by the ministry for payment of insurance of monitoring project vehicle for CDF. In addition, the balance on the 2023 CDF against expenditure is as a result of the 2023 programs that were ongoing at the end of the year. The action taken: management wishes to report that a reconciliation of the 2023 CDF performance has been completed and the results are shown in the table below. And that is the reconciliation that has been done, Chair. You can also look at that in Appendix 7A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remedial measure: management will ensure that CDF timelines are adhered to in the implementation of the CDF. In Appendix 2, we have total unspent funds. And the cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the opening balance of 21,225,957 was as a result of awaiting publication of CDF guidelines, formation of ward development committees, and orientation of constituency development fund committee members for a period of 3 months. The closing balance of 30,071,651 is as a result of the 2023 CDF projects that were ongoing at the end of the year. Action taken: management wishes to report that a reconciliation of the 2023 CDF performance has been completed and the result as in the table shown below. So we have those appendices down there. That's 7B1, 7A1, 7B2 and 3, and then 7A3, 7A4, and 7A5. Remedial measure: management will ensure that CDF timelines are adhered to in the implementation of the CDF. We go to Appendix 2.1, that's on unspent funds and community projects. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the balance on the 2023 CDF against the expenditure is as a result of the 2023 CDF projects that were ongoing at the end of the year. Action taken: management wishes to report that a reconciliation of the 2023 community projects has been completed and the results are shown in the table below. You can also look at Appendix 7A1. Remedial measure: management will ensure that CDF timelines are adhered to in the implementation of the CDF. And then cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that at the time of the audit review, two beneficiaries were not paid as the applicants were companies and not, it was discovered that applicants were companies, community groups. The action taken: the two unqualified applicants were replaced and new applicants were approved on 5th April 2024, after which they were paid. You can also look at that in Appendix 8. Remedial measure: management will ensure thorough screening of applicants so that the correct beneficiaries are recommended for approval. We go to Appendix 2, that is on secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's observations and wishes to state that low expenditure was due to low uptake and some of the approved beneficiaries' failure to report. Action taken: management has implemented the directive of the circular that the bursaries now cater for other requirements like meal allowances, accommodation, PPEs, which were cited as reasons for not reporting. The unspent funds were varied to community projects. We can look at Appendix 9. And then the remedial measure: management has enhanced publicity through social media, Facebook and WhatsApp, which has led to overwhelming applications for the bursaries. We look at Appendix 2, which is unspent funds on administration. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the unspent funds of 282,593, which is administration costs, was reserved for supervision, monitoring, and other administrative expenses. The action taken: management has since spent the administration component. You can look at Appendix 7A5. Remedial measure: management will ensure that administration funds are spent within the charge year. We're looking at Appendix 3 now. What is community projects? We have one on the construction of Kamtozo Health Post in Lapisha Ward, and the cause of query was due to the inaccessibility of the road to the site, which is 15 kilometers. And the action taken: the contractor requested for extension of time and it was granted, and the project has since been completed. Remedial measure: management will ensure projects are completed within the charge year. We can look at Appendix 10A. And then we come to the construction of a staff house at Colossa Primary School. Cause for the query: the contractor delayed due to inadequate financial capacity. And then the action taken: site meetings were held and emphasis made to make sure the projects are completed on time, and the project has since been completed. Remedial measure: management will ensure engagement of contractors to submit work schedules before the commencement of the project and ensure that the adherence to the time is followed to the latter. We can look at Appendix 10B. We go to the third contract, which was the construction of a 1x2 classroom block at Old Capella. Cause of the query: the contractor delayed due to inadequate financial capacity. In the action taken: site meetings were held and emphasis made to make sure projects are completed on time, and the project has since been completed. The remedial measure: management will ensure engagement of the contractors to submit work schedules before the commencement of the project and ensure the adherence to the same time is followed to the latter. We can look at Appendix 10C. Go to number 4, which is construction of a 1x2 classroom block at Chikunta. The cause for the query: the contractor delayed due to inadequate financial capacity. Action: the site meetings were held and emphasis made to make sure that the projects are completed on time, and the project has since been completed. Remedial measure: management will ensure engagement of contractors to submit work schedules before the commencement of the project and ensure that the adherence to the same is followed to the latter. We can look at Appendix 10D. The fifth one is the construction of a 1x2 classroom block again at Imbuza Community School. Cause for the query was due to the inaccessibility of the road to the site. Action taken: the contractor requested for extension of time and it was granted, and the project has since been completed. Remedial measure: management will ensure projects are completed within the charge year. We go to the sixth one, That's construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Mwembe Primary School, and the cost for the query was due to the inaccessibility of the road to the site. Again, the action taken, the contractor requested for extension of time, and it was granted, and the project has since been completed. Management will ensure projects are completed within the charge year. We can look at Appendix 10F for reference. Then we go to Appendix 4 on community projects. That's the one where we made changes as to the approved, implemented, the work in progress, and what is outstanding. We'll start with the first one on the procurement of an ambulance amounting to 1 million. Cause of query: the ministry issued a circular to the ministry issued a circular number MLGRD 10/4/31 dated 11 December 2023, guiding local authorities to allocate funds budgeted for the community project, and have set the 2.7 million towards the purchase of the ambulance. The action taken: the budgeted 1 million has since been utilized on the construction of a mechanized borehole at Mambwe Mission Secondary School and Sindano Primary School. Remedial measure: management will ensure adherence to CDF timelines. See Appendix 11A. And then we go to the construction of the Chief Mpande's Palace. Cause for the query: the cause of the query was due to the project being procured centrally, and the contract was signed on the 19th of December 2023. Action taken: the contract was terminated due to abandonment of the site for a long time, and it has since been re-advertised on EGP using open national bidding, and the site visit was already conducted on the 16th of April 2025. Remedial measure: management will continue engaging the ministry on centrally procured projects. You can look at Appendix 11B. Number 3, the purchase of earth-moving equipment, which is a grader. Cause for the query: the delayed procurement of earth-moving equipment was due to the removal of customs duty exemption on imported equipment by the ministry, resulting in the need for additional funding. The action taken: CDFC meeting was held, and the committee resolved to top up funds for the purchase of the earth-moving equipment. A major measure: management will adhere to the CDF timelines. And see Appendix 11C. The fourth project is the procurement of earth-moving equipment, again, which is an excavator. The delayed procurement of earth-moving equipment or excavator was due to the removal of customs duty, again, exemption on imported equipment by the ministry, resulting in the need for additional funding. Then the CDFC meeting was held, and the committee resolved to top up funds for the purchase of the earth-moving equipment. Remedial measure: management will adhere to the CDF timelines. We go to the fifth project, which is the procurement of earth-moving equipment. Again, this time it's a single roller compactor. Cause for the query: the delayed procurement of earth-moving equipment was again due to the removal of customs duty exemption on imported equipment by the ministry, resulting in the need for additional funding. The action taken: CDFC meeting was held, and the committee resolved to top up funds for the purchase of the earth-moving equipment. Management, remedial measure: management will adhere to the CDF timelines. We can look at Appendix 11C. And the sixth one is infrastructure connection to the national grid. Cause for the query was due to the signing of the memorandum of understanding with RIA, which was being done in phases. And then action taken: the MOU has since been signed, and the coordinates for the structure to be connected, have since been forwarded to RIA, and formulation of specifications and BOQs have since been done. All we are waiting for, Chair, is the CDFC committee to do a variation on the project, as the cost needed to do the project is 2,300,000. When you look at the other 6 projects, these were they were resolved in the status report in the interim management letter for the audit of Constituency Development Fund for Senga Hill Town Council for the year ended 31st December 2023. You can look at Appendix 7A. When you go to Appendix 5, which is analysis of performance, youth, women, and community grants, the cause of the query. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that at the time of the audit review, 2 beneficiaries were not paid, as the applicants were companies instead of community groups. The action taken: the 2 unqualified applicants were replaced and approved on 5th April 2024, after which they were paid. So we can look at Appendix 12. Remedial measure: management has sensitized communities to understand the requirements for one, to apply for empowerment grants. Then we go to Appendix 8, which is performance analysis on soft loans. Cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observations. The 33 applicants brought forward and 20 applicants for the funding year 2023 were as a result of ongoing processes of clearance by the bank. The action taken: the loans have since been dispersed to CDF beneficiaries. You can look at Appendix 13. Remedial measures: management will ensure beneficiaries are paid on time through follow-ups with the bank. Then we have Appendix 9, which is failure to recover loans. Management acknowledges the auditor's observations. However, the query was resolved at management stage. You can look at see attached management letter for your verification. And then we go to Appendix 10, which is secondary boarding and skills development bursaries.
Sorry, on the Appendix 9. What is the letter? So on what? See attached letter where? All right, it has been clarified, so one.
You can move.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Appendix 10.
So Appendix 10 is on secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wish to state that out of the 112 applicants for skills development, only 107 were approved, while the other 5 were rejected due to being over the age limit of 35, as per conveyance of approval dated 26th March 2023, footnote D. The action taken, Chair: management did not sponsor the 5 unqualified applicants. You can look at Appendix 14. Remedial measure: management will ensure thorough screening of applicants so that only eligible applicants are recommended for approval. This is submitted, Chair, for the consideration of the committee.
Thank you very much, honourable members. Points of clarifications. Honourable Dr. Manza.
Page 28.
Page 28.
The failure to recover loans.
That's the one that is resolved. Yes.
This one is resolved, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, go to page 10 then.
Page 10.
Page 10, we do some bit of some financial accounting. On page 10, there is a summary of the financial performance of the 2023 CDF with all different sectors, community projects, disaster loans, grants, administration, and bursaries. So on the community projects, this is actually financial accounting for 2023 funding, which is on page 10. The current balance, you have 0. On page 10, current balance of 0. And then your action on page 11, you've actually given the financial statistics for 2022 funding under community projects. You've given the balance brought forward from 2022, also the funding for 2023, expenditure details, and the balance as at the end of financial year 2023, including the variations and the expenditure to date, and then the current balance. The current balance is 0, meaning 2022 funding and the 2023 funding both are exhausted under the community projects component. So if we look at page 15 now, the performance of your community projects. On page 15, actually on page, I can just safely say page 19, which is just showing a summary. On page 19, you had 22 projects that were approved in 2022. You implemented 13, and work in progress is 5. Outstanding is 4. And for 2022, funding, you have how many projects outstanding? You have 6 in progress. So considering that in your financial accounting statement that you have nothing, no balance, current balance is 0, but yet you have 9 projects, work in progress, 5 in 2020 from the 2023 funding, and the outstanding 4, total 9 projects, and also for under 2022 funding you have 6. So you have 21 projects that still need payments. Where are you going to get the funds to pay for the services under these projects that are still outstanding?
Thank you. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. That was the position. The outstanding was the position as at end of 2023. But currently, we have reported that these projects were all completed. And what we're reporting there is the current balance, meaning showing 0, because all these projects have since been completed. I request that the Director of Works also speaks to that.
Director, Engineer.
Like earlier said by the CS, we can lovely say that the projects, the outstanding projects that we had are completed now.
Should you speak with confidence? shouldn't say speak like a man, but speak with confidence, that you convince us. So the CS is saying 2023, at the close of the projects, I mean you had 0 in your account. All the monies were utilized. And as things stand today, all the projects are completed. Is that the position, CS?
Yes, sir, all the projects are completed, but not that the monies were not that the monies were
Exhausted.
Exhausted by 2023. No, this is giving the current position as we speak now, that these balances are 0.
Okay. Dr. Mwanza?
The current position, current balance, which means we're talking about just before you came for this meeting, right? Yes, it's all like right now you have no money, you have 0, at least under community projects. But when I check some of your projects, they are still under defects liability period. And the defects liability period, you have a retention. You retain the total cost. You retain 5 or 10% based on the contract condition. Where are the retention monies going to come from?
Yes, Council Secretary.
Oh, thank you, Chair. I will request that the Director Engineering speaks to that.
Director Engineering.
Through the Chair, let me start with 2022 CDF projects. We have attached completion certificates, meaning that that defect liability period has expired, and we have since paid the retention funds for 2020, all the 2022 projects. We have released the retention funds.
Dr. Mwanza, is that clear?
You have projects that just a retention, the defects liability period is spilling over to 2025 because because most of the projects, they had time extensions. So you completed, yes, but then the defects liability period is still running to 2025 under 2023 funding.
Director Engineering, what's your comment there?
Through the Chair again, we may say that maybe we have 1 or 2, which is maybe under defects liability period, which is the projects falling under 2023. I thought first he meant maybe 2022, but 2023, yes, I can agree. We have 1 or 2 that have the same funds meant for defects liability period.
Do we have the funds? Because according to him, it's negative.
On the same, through the Chair, I can comment. I think government issued a circular concerning that even if we have like funds meant for defects liability period, then maybe under 2025, because we have the projects approved under 2025, which we have maybe grants and other things. So if these things, they need say money. So some of the money that was meant for defect liability period has since been paid to other sectors, which is maybe loans and other things. Maybe Director Finance can shed more light on the same through the Chair.
Dr. Mwanza,
you can borrow, you can get the funds from community projects to service other projects, but in that particular ledger, you've got to indicate the amount that it is reserved for defects liability period. And your action on page 11, as a reaction to the auditor's financial statements, you have actually explicitly given an account of the funding from both financial years, from 2022, which is the second column, balance brought forward is 13 million on page 11, 13,531,749. And then 2023, you have the funding. So the funding from the 2 financial years, the aggregate, total, everything is completely nil. You just confirmed you have some obligations, financial obligations under this vote. How are you going to sort out that issue for defects liability period funds?
Councillor Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to request the Director of Finance to speak to that.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Just the Director of Works has stated. Chair, according to the need of the CDF programs, we have utilized most of this money, Chair, and I can state to this committee that we had some fund which we haven't received for 2020 last year, because we received the 20 million instead of 28. So the funds, we are expecting that if it comes, we are going to utilize this project.
Why didn't you receive that money?
Chair, we are talking of the funds for 2024 last year. We received the 20 million instead of the 30 million. So this is what we are saying, that we are spending according to the need of the programs.
And my question also is, why didn't you receive it? You have not demanded for it. You have not requested for it, right?
Chair, I've taken note. We have requested and we have received the part of it, which we are still spending, Chair. I submit.
Okay, as we close on this one, yes.
Chair, maybe we can close. Director Planning was giving an academic assumption on how the funds may have been spent. Maybe we can go to the next question.
Give us another question.
Yes, Chair. Page 13.
I'll conclude on that.
Okay, thank you. Page 13, Chair. On secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Chair, Senga Hill had unspent funds of about 3,469,392 kwacha. Now, I would like to take you, Chair, on page 14, together with the entire team of Senga Hill, on the cause of query. The cause of query, Senga Hill is saying management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that low expenditure was due to low uptake and some of the approved beneficiaries' failure to report. Now my question, Chair, is why did you have a low uptake? Firstly. Secondly, what kind of a selection did you make that failed to report? Because, Chair, if there is a fund that most youths are interested in utilizing, it's this fund, and many youths are very happy with this fund. Surprisingly, Senga Hill is saying even when they selected these youths, they failed to report. Why did they fail to report? And why did you have a low uptake? I submit, Chair.
Councillor Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to request the Director Planning.
Director Planning. Director Planning. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. At the time of this disbursement, initially the numbers we were getting were lower than what we have now. The numbers now are about 5 times more. You will see that where we have 133 students, now you look at our application numbers, they are over 500.
Are you responding?
So the response is that due to the lack of payment of meal allowances, this was before the circular on meal allowances and PPEs, there were students that were shunning going to these schools on account of the fact that they would have bills that their parents were not going to be able to pay. So with the coming in of the meal allowances and payments for PPEs, there has been a definite increase in the numbers and the uptake. Thank you.
All right, page 8. On the irregular accounting administration, irregular cash withdrawal amounting to 86,000. What happened? Why did we withdraw up to 86,000 kwacha? Council Secretary, do we have a bank in Senga?
Chair, we do not have a bank in Senga Hill.
So how do you access your monies?
We go to Mbala. The closest is Mbala, which is some 78 kilometers. Then we also have Nakonde, which is about 130, and Kasama, which is about 200 something kilometers.
So how do you make your transactions?
We make our transactions at the most using the Mbala banks and accounts. It's very difficult, Chair, but because of what is required of us by the Public Finance Act, we've been trying to do the right thing in terms of.
Is any likelihood of getting a bank soon?
Not where we are in Mambwe. We are at Mambwe Mission. That would be very difficult to say.
Okay, go to page 6. Page 6, failure to avail WDC and the CDFC minutes. Your response is management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that at the time of audit, the minutes of WDC CDFC were not availed due to misplacement of files.
Chair, sorry, before you move away from the issue of the bank.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go
ahead, Chairperson.
With permission, I would like to find out what has the council.
You're breaking, sir.
So, what has the council done, district? Have they engaged? Have they started building some infrastructure to house any banking facility so that they can have a banking facility in their district? Because they are the ones who should facilitate for such banking facilities within the district. Have they undertaken any engagements with the banking institutions? I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Yes, like I asked, any initiative?
The only initiative,
to
thank
lower
you,
the
Chair.
banks, yes.
The only initiative that maybe we can speak about right now is the fact that we have received some funding for Land Development Fund, and this is the time now we'll start making real plans on the ground in terms of creating or planning for facilities like that. But currently, where we're coming from, it hasn't been possible. But right now, I think we are working on that.
So using the Land Development Fund, we could see the base of some banking facility. That's what you are assuring us.
We do hope so.
All right. We'll go to page 6. Here we are saying the auditors came through and they asked for the minutes of WDC and the CDFC, and these minutes were not there. Director Planning, what happened? Director Planning through CS, Director Planning.
Thank you, Chair. I believe the socio-economic planner can shed more light on the situation.
Thank you so much, Chair. I would like to report that, remember when I reported to Senga Town Council on 8th May 2023, that was a Monday. On a Tuesday there was a riot where the community wanted the office to shift further from where we are renting at Mambwe Mission to a new civic center which has not yet been powered. So there was a lot, the furniture and the offices, most of the offices are open offices. So the furniture and the other documents were thrown out so that they could be shifted to the new offices. So at the time the auditors came, had not settled yet. We didn't even have a DP, and I didn't know where most of the files were. So I was just getting in touch with my fellow who we exchanged with, who is in Ikereng. He told me they are there. But just because of that fracas that was there, we were not able to find them until when we started just checking around on the files that were taken to the other civic center. That is when we managed to retrieve the
So that attracted police action, isn't it?
Yes, it did.
You have a police report to that effect?
I don't know if maybe the CS could have, but there was that fracas that was there, and there was police presence. That was just the time I just reported.
Yeah, because we just want to find out as to why auditors would not find those very important documents. CS, before you respond, CS, yes.
Just a question, Chair. So up to now, you are still renting, or you moved to your structures? And those structures, are you the ones that built them, or just explain a bit on that one?
Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, the structures are still there. They were constructed from the 20% of the local government equalization fund. But what has happened is that the place where the new offices are from where we are renting is 8 kilometers. And then currently there is no power, there is no network facility in terms of cell phones. And I think also the water situation is also not there, as well as accommodation. It's a building somewhere, but there is no accommodation for the officers. The possible accommodation is found at Mambwe.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Chair. I feel for you, NSENGA. The way you're speaking, Chair, the way the CS is speaking, as if she wants to break down in tears.
Ask your question yourself. Yeah.
Now, what are you doing? Because you are the ones that are responsible to make NSENGA be a city. What are you doing? Infrastructure-wise, you have got CDF, you can still construct under CDF, you can finish them off and so on, you can pull power, you can what, and just, I can give you a very good example. Chair, in Kaoma, we are constructing our own nice hall for these sittings for the council, and so on and so. You can do all those facilities. It's your responsibility, it's your baby. You can communicate with these network providers, they come and assess and give you a tower and so on, and do everything possible. What are you doing about it? You can run up and down. From my own view, I think you have been given that town or that place really to develop it. You need to leave a legacy there. You need to leave a legacy that we never found structures, now they are here. We never found electricity, now it is here. We never found a network, now it is here. We never found accommodation, now it is here. Even you as staff, you can also allocate maybe some pieces of land. People will start developing. If you are not interested in constructing houses there, near, because that's the new civic center. You see that? That's the civic center, not so? Yes, so all businesses must be somewhere near you. So what are you doing about it in that line, just to develop that place to such a reasonable standard? I submit.
Thank you very much. Dr. Mazu, you have something before she responds, because I want to. Yes, go ahead, Doc.
Okay. On page 4, irregular advance payment bond. This is stories when you just went to Senga Hill, there was that protest. Could this be the reason why this payment voucher, you attached a performance bond other than attaching an advance payment, an advance bond for you to have effected payment of 99,000 kwacha 304, because the auditors picked that the bond, the guarantee, was not fully covered. And then later now, when appearing to this committee, you are saying we attached a wrong bond. You attached a performance bond other than an advance bond. Then on the same project, on Mambwe Mission Secondary School, this contractor, Kemva, was contracted to construct a dormitory and an ablution block at 397,216 kwacha. The query is that electricity and water was not connected. But your explanation is saying the contractor completed the project according to the scope. Electricity was not part of the scope of work. What is on the scope of work under electricity is just the electrical wiring. Whilst on water supply to the ablution, it was just the reticulation without providing the source. My question is, why didn't you explain to the auditor at the time that they discovered like you did not connect Mambwe Mission Hospital to the national grid, yet your scope of work did not include that connection to the national grid?
Council Secretary, why didn't you explain to the auditors?
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to request the Director Engineer to speak.
Director Engineer?
Through the Chair, at the time of audit, we did review that the scope of work was not like the electricity and the water irrigation system was not part of the scope. However, they were following the presidential directive, which stated that all institutions are supposed to have running water as well as power. So their proposal was that even if there is no, there was no that possibility of having it connected to national grid, at least maybe we're supposed to provide even solar panels of some sort. But our argument was that during that charge year, we never budgeted for the same, but we budgeted in the which is the previous year, 2024, and we have since been and all what we planned in 2024 has since been implemented. Chair, I submit.
Council Secretary, we appreciate that NSENGA Hill, you have a lot of challenges there. But one beauty and comforting thing is that this government is giving all the constituencies, all the districts, equal amount of money. So the issue of you not having infrastructure or delayed projects and stuff like that will not be accepted, because we know that the monies are given to each and everyone. I understand the challenges that are there. I had somebody there who came back crying. He said, we are literally in the village here, and all the facilities are beyond what the officers expect. But we need to, like my colleague has indicated, we need to transform that place and make it a beautiful place. You know, make it attractive to the people that are being sent there by the commission. Everything is on you. Director Engineering, we do not want to see delayed projects. These irregular cash withdrawals are a source of concern as well. We want you to make sure that even the grants and the loans, all these things, we work as a team, we work as management to make sure that everybody is functional. Every department must be functional, Council Secretary. And these people should not sabotage the system by not doing what they are supposed to be doing. What is the internal auditor? Madam Internal Auditor, you must do what you are supposed to be doing. We want to get a report that we have been getting from other councils, you know, pertaining your department. councils like a few where we have a lady as well. She will come and produce, this is what I advised the council. I didn't approve this, and these are my minutes. And that's the type of, transparency that we are looking for from your department. We appreciate your appearance, Council Secretary, and you can only wish you well, and we want you to work hard and make sure that you put your house in order. Have coordinated responses when you appear before a committee like this one. The immunity is hereby withdrawn, and we wish you well as you go back. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Talking about today, Tuesday, which is the 20th day in the month of May 2025. The committee has just concluded receiving submissions from NSENGA Hill Town Council, and this local authority was being led by Ms. Millie Muluti, who is the council secretary. We still remain with one more local authority to make submissions, or should I say to appear before the Local Government Accounts Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And this is Chigankata Town Council. My name is Posent Ndovi, on behalf of my two sign language interpreters, Chola Kauman, Jason Manda, and not forgetting the entire production crew. We're taking a break, and we'll be back at 14:30 hours when they start interacting with Chigankata Town Council as they make their submission. Keep watching Parliament Television. I'll be back at 14:30.
The fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, which adjourned Senate Year on Friday, 28th March 2025, resumed sitting on Tuesday, 10th June 2025 at 14:30 hours. Catch us live on DSTV channel 272, GoTV channel 28, Topsa channel 5, and on Parliament Radio. You can also follow the live proceedings on the National Assembly of Zambia Facebook and YouTube pages. Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you. At the mark of 100 years of its existence as the legislature, on 23rd May 2024, the Right Honorable Ms. Nelly B.K. Muti, State Council MP, FAPRA, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, declared May 23rd as the Parliament Day to be commemorated annually. This Friday, 23rd May 2025, starting at 08 hours, Parliament Day will be commemorated at Parliament main buildings and at constituency offices at provincial headquarters under the theme, Bringing Parliament Closer to the People, Strengthening Democratic Governance Through Public Engagements. The public is therefore invited to join the National Assembly of Zambia in the commemoration of this important day by visiting the Parliament buildings. Various departments will exhibit at this occasion to give you an opportunity to learn more about the National Assembly and the specific roles of each department. Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
Treat yourself to some warming entertainment this May on Top Star. For just 210 kwacha on Antenna Classic on D-Smart. Witness the end of a highly contested season of amazing football in the stylish Spanish La Liga as Real Madrid and Barcelona put their rivalries to bed in readiness for the 2025-2026 season on your favorite sports channels. Stay glued to Novela E+ to watch our latest Filipino drama series, Senior High, showing daily at 1950 hours from May 14, and continue on the path of crime and stolen identities in Gangs of Manila, airing daily at 2040 hours. Also watch the best of Bollywood series on Star Life, C1, and catch classic movies on Filmbox and Movies Plus. So don't be left out. Grab yourself a Top Star decoder now. Top Star, enjoy digital life.
GoTV has something free for every customer. Because there's a new way to enjoy your favorite entertainment and no extra cost. Whenever you want, even on the go. It's as easy as 1, 2, free. Make sure your GoTV subscription is up to date. Download the new GoTV Stream app from your app store and sign into your GoTV account to get going. Watch on your TV, laptop, tablet, or phone. Watch TV anywhere with GoTV Stream.
Get into the football action. And he's done it! He took his time. So, McTominay! Enjoy the fun cartoon. Stop! You don't know what you're doing.
Yes, I do. I'm frying up some eggs.
The jaw-dropping drama.
Oh my God, the grasshopper is in again.
Hey, hold.
The time is ticking. I want my shit.
And outlet action movies. That's what I'm talking about. From sun up to sundown. Enjoy non-stop entertainment with GoTV. Reconnect or stay connected to watch all your favorite TV moments anytime, anywhere on GoTV Stream. GoTV. Love it.
answering the thunderous call of a natural wonder. Or experiencing the roar of the wilderness as its residents come to life. And the lively slither of a river teeming with untamed wildlife. There are moments in our lives that live forever. Moments like experiencing the adrenaline rush of close encounters with nature's thrills. The exquisite indulgence of luxurious trees, kissed by the radiance of the African sky. The rhythmic movement of a people in celebration, whose tranquility and peace touch the hearts of those they encounter. There are moments in our lives that live forever. Many of them begin here. Zambia, one destination, a million adventures. Zambia, let's explore. Breathtaking and thrilling. Visit Livingston City for pure adrenaline and fun. Let its thrills and spills inspire you. Livingston features arguably the best sunset views in the world. Memorable game viewing adventures in the small but well-stocked Motiotunya National Park, where you can see the rare white rhino. Experience the best of Zambia's rich culture and history at the Livingston Museum. Or through visual and performing arts, food and folklore at the Bonfire by Night. And to crown them all, the awesome, majestic, mighty Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, known in local language as Motiotunya, the smoke that thunders. A visit to Livingston is incomplete if it does not include this world-famous icon. Some call it Zambia, but we call it home. One Zambia, one destination, limitless exploring.